Hi, my loves. Welcome back to my channel. Yeah, okay. Who am I kidding? I feel like with how long I've been gone, y'all ought to be the ones welcoming me back to this channel. But if you're new here, my name is Eugenia Kelsey, and I have been growing my 4C hair to tailbone length. And recently, your girl had to go ahead and do a big chop to brow length. But at the time of recording this voiceover, my hair is back to waist length, and I can't wait to show you everything I've been doing differently. So let's get into it. Shampooing and scalp care. This is where most of the hair problems start, and here are my best tips to tackle it so you don't end up frustrating yourself or your hair. Your scalp is part of your skin. Treat it as such. It's very simple. I like to look for skincare ingredients in my hair care products. I do a weekly scalp scrub which clears away dead skin cells, flakes, dirt, oils, all that stuff in your on your hair. This product especially contains lactobacillus ferment, which is an ingredient that helps to keep your scalp from becoming the perfect home for the fungus malassezia, which causes flakes. Because if you make your scalp a welcoming environment for them, trust me, they will stay and cause more flakes. Scrubbing in itself helps to exfoliate my scalp, and personally, it's like a little spot treatment that I give myself every week. Not to mention, all that massaging that I be doing on my scalp helps to improve blood circulation, which in turn aids in hair growth. It really helps to have a healthy base where your hair will thrive, and I just love it. It's a win. It's a spa treatment, and it's also helping my hair. I use the scrub on just one section of my head so you can see the lather. It basically is like a 2-in-1 shampoo. I just didn't add a shampoo to this part just so you guys can see the lather and just how good it works. A lot of people don't realize this, but shampooing is probably the most important step, and also the step where if you rush it, mistakes can allow for damage, tangling, split ends, and whatnot. When you shampoo your hair, your cuticles open up to let water in. And if you have 4C hair or any type 4 hair, this step is even more crucial. You want a shampoo with high slip. And the goal is to elongate your strands outward as you cleanse. You will notice that your curls will start to define and take water in if you're doing it right. But if you pile it together, your strands will cross over, tangle, and the deep conditioning process will be such a hassle. You can use an everyday cleanser, but I also like to do a detox shampoo once in a month to lift mineral buildup from hard water. I live in LA, and the water here has a high concentration of minerals that settle on the hair, and if they're not removed, the products that you put later on can't really do their job. Think of it like plaque on your teeth. If you don't floss and the buildup forms, no amount of flossing or brushing your teeth later is going to take away from that floss. You're going to have to go to the dentist for them to take it off. Hair is the same way. You can deep condition and layer on your serums, but without detoxing, mineral buildup will block your products from receiving the food benefits of your hair products. So see how sometimes a product that works so well just stops working? Yeah, sometimes it's not the product, sometimes it's the buildup that's your hair has accumulated. Now, if you followed everything as I've shown you, deep conditioning and detangling should actually be very quick and easy. My personal favorite is the Crosses Moringa and Fenugreek Deep Conditioner. This is a product that I created myself. If you go on my channel, you would see that I talk about it a lot. I have DIYs, the ingredients, the benefit, all of that. I love this product down. These ingredients, I don't know what to tell you. The benefits, fenugreek, moringa, I love it. But one thing that I've started doing differently in my routine is that I've stopped doing overnight deep conditioning. I realized that when your cuticles stay open for too long, they get oversaturated with water, and eventually they can swell and burst, like pop. So it was creating these like little breakages. Like I would do my hair, and I'll insert a video here so you guys can see it. And even though my hair was growing, I noticed little broken ends on my counter. Like I would finish doing my hair and my counter was fuzzy with little ends, like my ends breaking, and I realized that it was thinning out my ends, and I wasn't seeing the length retention that I was used to seeing before. My ends were not looking full. So I was like, why not just stop doing that for a little bit? And I saw a huge difference. And so a good rule of thumb to have is deep conditioning for 10 to 30 minutes. Anything longer than that, you're actually doing more harm than good. You're causing damage to your hair. If you want to take it up a notch, I would recommend sitting under a hooded dryer. But the overnight, try to decrease it, or it's just not worth it for me. It's what I've come to realize. Once I wash the deep conditioner out, I go ahead and dry my hair with a microfiber hair towel. I love these because compared to the regular hair towels, they're not harsh on your hair cuticles, and they also absorb water really fast out of the hair. And like I said before, because of this experience, I'm just very wary of water sitting in my hair for extended periods of time. Like I'm not doing an overnight treatment anymore, so I don't need water sitting in my hair more than it needs to and swelling it, oversaturating it. My hair is hydrated, like it's damp, so we're just gonna go ahead and moisturize. I think there's a huge misconception in our community that for hair to be moisturized, it has to have that juicy, soft to touch type look for it to be considered moisturized. But that's not what moisture is. There's a difference between hydrated hair and moisture. When I put water on my hair, it's hydrated. Literally, hydrated means to absorb water. You putting water on your hair is you hydrating the hair. Now, moisture is your hair's ability to hold onto that, water or that hydration. And in a leave-in conditioner, you want to look for humectants. Humectants are what is going to help you to hold that hydration in your hair. And sometimes they also pull moisture from the atmosphere into your hair. And so you have the natural humectants like glycerin, that helps to keep moisture in the hair. You also want things like shea butter, which helps to, I love unrefined shea butter, which helps to soften the hair, which also helps to keep the shine, and it also helps to keep the moisture, helps to seal the moisture. And so all of these ingredients combined in the product is what is going to help keep your hair moisturized. Moisturized does not necessarily mean that it looks juicy, it looks soft to touch. Not soft, it looks wet to touch, all that features that we think of. But anyways, I went ahead and moisturized my hair. I have been wearing my hair out a bit more lately, like styling it, and so I went ahead and stretched it out. And also I get a lot of questions about my detangling process. Let me not say I don't. I rarely ever use combs. If I'm using combs, then I'm parting my hair occasionally, but I don't genuinely usually comb my hair out. I just use heat judiciously to stretch my hair out, which I think is the best way to avoid breakage when your hair is in its natural state, especially with water on top of it. It's just in its fragile state, and I think introducing combs or brushes, me personally, in my experience, it's not good for my hair. It just breaks my hair. And so this is what I have found: the heat tension method, where I pull my hair out a little bit, and then with a bit of medium heat I get my hair to stretch out, and then I go in and finger the tangle. Obviously you're using heat, so you want to be careful and judicious about how much heat you're using, how much you have it, just so you also don't encounter heat damage. For oils, I tend to do lightweight oils, just because if you use anything heavier, it's going to make your hair limp. It's going to weigh it down. And during the shampoo process, if you guys have noticed, when you have a lot of oil in your hair, it breaks down your shampoo. And so a good rule of thumb, if you're shampooing your hair and you're not getting a lot of lather, of course you also have your hair's natural oil, you have products that you've used, but if it's breaking down the shampoo, you might have to shampoo twice or 3 times. That could be an indicator that you're using like heavier oils or way too much oils. But for the purpose of oiling the hair is to seal the moisture that you have in your hair. It also helps to boost shine, and for me particularly, I like to use it as a way to counter my hair from tangling. Like if the surfaces of my hair is smooth, it makes it more harder for it to like cross over each other and tangle. And even if they do cross over each other, I could just go ahead and separate it, and that's how oil helps me in my routine. Trimming is very simple. Whenever my hair is blown out, I'll just examine it for split ends, and any strands that I see is split, I'll just cut it. You don't need to straighten your hair, do all of that. Just blow it out. You see split ends, cut it. Otherwise it's going to keep splitting up. I tend to lean more towards like fuller ends, and so if I'm seeing through my ends, if I see that it's a bit thin, I'll just cut off the thin ends, just because I just want it to look full. But that's my preference. And that sums about everything I've been doing. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you have any questions, I'll see you in the comments to answer them.